So at Saltwater Church, we are recognized as a green sanctuary. And this means that this community made a promise or a covenant some years ago to run our congregation in a way that lightens our impact on our planet, who I like to think of as our great mother. My commitment to work toward a livable planet, our commitment to work toward a livable planet in all that we do, reflects our UU values of justice and equity, because those with the least are the ones most impacted by climate disasters. It reflects our value of interdependence, which reminds us that we are not separate from our environment. And one of the ways that we live out our green sanctuary commitment has to do with what we do with our garbage. So we have several different kind of garbage cans here at Saltwater. Blue ones that don't usually have a bag in them, those take clean paper and plastic and bottles and cans. Those are the recycling bins. Although in the bathroom, those bins are for paper towels that will ultimately end up in the food and yard waste or compost bin, the big green bin outside. All of our coffee cups and plates, and even our plastic looking silverware and our trash bags are compostable. So they can all go into the compost along with any food or soiled paper, any plant materials or yard debris that folks create when they come to help do the work of caring for the community, like Glenn just talked about. And then just trash goes in those plain black bins. Usually they have a white liner, also compostable, but there shouldn't be very much stuff in those trash bins, right? Because most of our waste is compost or recycling, returning the materials to the earth or back into the production stream. Being a green sanctuary means talking about what we do with our garbage. And being people committed to a livable environment means trying to put fewer things in the trash because the trash doesn't actually go away. And here is where repair comes in. We saw the way a patch can mend a hole and make a fabric more beautiful this morning. And we witnessed people in our community sewing themselves into the fabric of Saltwater Church through our new member ceremony. We've heard about the way real physical repairs are what keeps our church doors open. And I am so grateful to the facilities team and all our volunteers who show up to take care of our buildings and grounds. I hope all of you in the sanctuary will keep participating in the work of building up and repairing this community by sticking around after worship in the sanctuary is over and checking out our volunteer fair. Will team leaders will be around to answer your questions and sign you up to be part of the work of Saltwater Church. And the choir has sung so beautifully about the ways repairing our brokenness can enhance our beauty in the way that rupture that is followed by real repair has been shown to make relationships stronger than they would have been if the rupture had never occurred. Our congregation's covenant of right relations helps guide all we do, including the work of repair when the inevitable breakage occurs. If you aren't familiar with our covenant, there's going to be copies out in the welcome room today. And if you're on Zoom, I'm dropping a link into the chat. I really want to encourage you, take a look at our covenant, read it over. If you have a physical copy, put it up on your refrigerator. See if you can bring its wisdom into your daily lives. Repair is an essential piece of the ongoing transformation that UUs acknowledge as one of our core values. We know that we need to keep growing and changing, breaking and repairing and becoming stronger. And we covenant, we promise to do that work together. We do our best to repair relationships rather than throwing anyone away. Because our universalism tells us that God didn't make no garbage, which is to say, we are all beloved, which is to say, every person is inherently worthy and deserves a life of flourishing with dignity, compassion, and love. If you encounter someone who challenges your idea of inherent worthiness, who makes you wonder if maybe God did make some garbage with this person, I encourage you, Imagine this supposedly garbage person as the tiny baby that they were when they entered this world. A beautiful child, so sweet, so fresh. That baby had the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion, but they've been so broken by the world that they've become this person who makes you question the idea of inherent worth and dignity. That baby deserved better, could have been so much more. So we do everything in our power not to throw people away. And our covenant helps us with that. Our commitment to repair as Unitarian Universalists is both ecological and theological. If we can help it, we don't want to throw anything or anyone away. But there are things that can't be composted or recycled. And there are people who cause harm and don't want to do the work of returning to covenant. So sometimes we do have to ask people to leave, but it's never because they're garbage. It's always because they weren't willing to be mutual partners in covenant. They weren't willing to make and live into the promises of community. Our covenant reminds us all of us will fail. All of us will fall out of covenant. And in that fall, relationships may get cracked and broken. But repair is possible when we do the work of living into covenant together. We welcome all who would strive to live our covenant to join us in the work of repair together. May it be so.